Hi everyone, thanks for tuning in. I just wanted to do a quick tutorial of That's My BIS and 60 upgrades to help everyone in the preparation of their wish lists as we look to BWL on the 20th. So first and foremost, I want to let everybody know that the Phase 3 and 4 wish list that you'll be putting together, which will contain gear from Molten Core, Onyxia, Blackwing Lair, and ZG, will be live as of March 20th at 7 p.m. Eastern. So at 7 p.m. Eastern, roughly 1 hour before Raid Team 1 goes into Blackwing Lair, we will be force switching everybody in the guild from their active wish list Phase 1 and 2 to their Phase 3 and 4 wish list. At that time, if you do not have the wish list set up, we will be taking note of that, and then you are going to have to require officer intervention in order to upload your post, which I've mentioned previously in Discord. So please just watch this tutorial, learn how to do the wish list properly, learn how to import it into That's My BIS, and then you don't have to worry about any of that. So to start, I will say you can do your wish list manually. It's a little tedious, a little cumbersome, but it is possible if you know every piece of gear that you want to go. If you're gearing perhaps, I'm not going to say abnormally, but if you're not following the typical meta builds, this may be beneficial for you. So first things first, you'll go into wish list, you'll click on your character here that you've already created. You'll see that there's a currently active wish list. This is phase 1. You see here there's a drop down, right? So you can hit this drop down and you'll see phase 3 and 4 BWLZG. So you can click into this, and now you'll see up here, this is all loot received still. This is where your current wish list is. And let's just say you're a priest and you want to get prophecy gear. You can go in and you could click add here. That's a little tedious, and what you'll notice here is the big blue button, which is import wish list from 60 upgrades or WoW Sims. I don't use WoW Sims, so I can't help you there, but 60 upgrades is easy to use, and so I will show you how you can use that. So in characters here, you'll go in, you'll either make yours to match your in-game character, or you'll simply go into the one you have pre-existing. And when you click into it, you'll see that this is the live information, so this is currently equipped. And you can do the drop down here. And what you'll want to do is in the drop down, you'll hit create set. When you get in here, you can name it whatever you want. I'm going to name this phase 3 and 4 BWL and ZG. Okay. You'll pick your spec, which is an interesting note for priest. If you're healing, it doesn't actually matter if you hit holy or discipline. It'll be the same EP choice regardless. And then you'll hit phase 4 is the phase number for this. Okay. When you go into your EP, you're going to choose preset, or you can do it custom if you know what you're doing. Don't recommend that. That's the easier way to do it. This is preset. If you've got 3-piece tier 2 for holy, you'll do this. So I'd imagine with 2 pieces currently, I'll have mine in short order. So I'm actually going to do mine assuming 3-piece of tier 2, and I'm going to add this. And the next important thing you're going to want to do is check your sources. So if you're, say, not grinding PvP, we don't do world bosses, but you're okay with crafting, reputation, quests, dungeons, raids, and BOE. Okay. In the raids, we want to include gear from Molten Core, ZG, BWL, and Oni, which means we click off AQ and Nax. So those 4 raids are the only ones represented. Everything else we're going to leave as all. One other thing that you might be interested in doing, just to make sure if there's a gear, this is more class specific, but you can off click the things that you don't have so that they don't make suggestions for crafted gear. Some people end up with perhaps like an engineering piece or something like that you may not have that profession, so you can always edit your professions that are included here. So I'm an enchanter and tailor. You'll see here that tailoring and enchanting are included in my professions requirements here. So this is ready to go. So now we hit create set, and you're going to see that your gear set has no items. So you can either click and add, and it's going to show you the best piece here, or you can hit autofill, in which case all of those pre-selected pieces will be here still. So this is the exact same. You can see here only those 2 professions, only those 4 raids. So all of that carries over when you do the autofill. and you click the button and go. Okay, so you have two options here. You can leave this as it is, or you can do a little investigation. So, for instance, on my set, I can tell you right now that I've done the math between benediction and the mace with lay, and I'm probably going to defer to others receiving the mace and keep benediction through phase 3 and phase 4. I think it's something like a 2 EP bonus. If I remember having done my math correctly. So for me, I'm actually going to keep benediction here, which means that when I import this, you'll see Benny rather than the main hand and offhand. Everything else I will leave because this is as I currently want it. So what we need to do now is export this to that's my bis. And you'll see here these three arrows. You can hit the export button. You'll copy that to your clipboard, and you'll return over here to that's my bis. You'll recall we got here. I'll go back just so you can have the benefit of seeing it one more time. You click into your guild. Up here on the wish list, you click into your character, and then you're going to, in this drop down, select phase 3 and 4 list, and then you're going to hit the import button. Now you simply paste everything that you previously had included, and you import that wish list. What I want to point out is actually kind of an important thing to keep in mind here is this should not be the end. What you should be doing is cross-referencing your loot received down here with the gear that you have here. And what do I mean by that? I already have Halo Transcendence. I'm not going to include that in my wish list. I already have Leggings of Transcendence. I'm not going to include that in my wish list. I already have Gloves of Prophecy. I'm not going to include that in my wish list. And I already have Benediction. I am not going to include that in my wish list. These are carryover items from phase 1 and phase 2 that it's not worthwhile for me to put in my wish list because I already have them. So then what do I need to do? I need to determine based on my gear, my preference, what order I would like to receive these, keeping in mind that this is not dispositive. Everything from here on out, even the wish list itself, is not dispositive to Loot Council distributions, right? But what do I want first and foremost? Okay, well, I think that Cauterizing and Pure Elementium Band, these are going to be two high value pieces. Let's say what I'm really looking for though, just in terms of keeping in mind the phase the tier 2 3-set bonus. So maybe I'm actually deciding that I'd actually like to prioritize these phase 3s. I'd like to add a note here that 1, 2, or 3 on list pending T2 3 set, then rings, right? And I post that here. And now I'm saying this would indicate, though somewhat shoddily, that I want one of these pieces here to get my 3 set, and then I'd like to get the rings. Okay? So then I can order this around however I want. You can look at your gear. Maybe I want the trinkets more than I want other things. Wand would be great, but I want the rings more than that. So back piece is lowest priority because Hide of the Wild's fine. And so you would just simply go through this kind of a perhaps more thoroughly thought out. I'm doing this on the fly. Keep in mind this will not be the last time I visit my own personal wish list here. But you'll want to make sure that you hit save. And then you'll see here that you have a phase 1 and 2 wish list that hasn't gone anywhere. And then you have this wish list, you'll be able to click here and say show inactive wish list, and you'll be able to see the next setup. And keeping in mind that this will show you, it differentiates by location, but it'll show you the rankings that you put. So you can see here 1, 2, and 3 ranking. You can see the note that I've put into the item, and then you can see I have one piece from ZG that I'd like. And so this is the uh, all that we're looking to get is up to this point in terms of gear. So just you can see it's pretty easy. You have all your loot received right there to cross-check your list. You can go through 60 upgrades here and peruse to see if there's something that you'd like different. Maybe there's a piece you think you may not get, or you may not be first in line, so you'd like to get the next up on that piece. So just keep that in mind as you're scrolling through. And that goes towards what I was mentioning earlier about if you're going to try and gear perhaps in a non-traditional way, that you may not want to take this for what it gives you at the very beginning. I mean, you can see here I've already made that kind of value-based determination about getting benediction versus the offhand and mace. So this is essentially what we're looking for everyone to have completed by the 20th. Again, the wish list will go live on March 20th at 7 p.m. Eastern, ahead of Raid Team 1 hitting Blackwing Lair on launch. So everybody in the guild must have this process completed at that point. If you have any other questions, feel free to reach out. But hopefully this explains most of it, and you all feel comfortable and confident going forward and creating your wish list now. Thank you again for watching, and we'll see you in BWL.